Hey everybody, welcome back. It is me, Antonio Alanis, and I welcome you all to the fourth video in this series called 12 Steps to Exhibiting Your Work in Galleries as a Beginner Artist. If you're here, you probably have watched the three previous videos that I have already covered, and those are Overcoming Imposter Syndrome, Understanding Art Calls, Building a Resume, and now today we are back into having a body of work. So we are about a fourth done in this series. And I'm trying to think a lot about how I'm trying to move forward with this information. There's a lot of information that I talk about, and also realize that there's so many more things that I could talk about as well. But today I wanted to just give you a little update in terms of where we're going and where we are right now. Last time, if you may have remembered, we talked about the resume and how a resume is important. If you missed that episode, you can go back to rewatch this series. Let's start with why it is important to, or what is developing a body of work for gallery submissions as a beginner artist. A lot of the information that I will say today is a combination of various things that I've said in the past and probably new information. This goes back to when I was growing up as a beginner artist and wanted to exhibit and had so many questions around how in the world do I get my work out there. So I will talk about the things that have worked for me and how to develop a body of work that has allowed me to exhibit in over a dozen or more gallery exhibitions in the past 8 to 10 years. First, let's start with what is a body of work. The first thing is a body of work is essentially a collection or all the things that you are developing as an artist. This is crucial for us to understand what is the work that we're doing, why are we doing this, and essentially what is it that we want the world to see. Now, the body of work is essentially a precursor to making a catalog, and we'll touch cataloging later, or more on a portfolio. But a body of work is essentially why do people know that we do this work? What is it that we're trying to let the world know that this is what we do? So for me, one of the biggest things and advice that helped me create a body of work in the very beginning as an artist was thinking about themes, topics, ideas that were important as I was trying to do more gallery submissions. And not only gallery submissions, but really looking to get more clients and expand on the type of work that I do right now. So a body of work for me, if you were to ask me, it's really my art. What is it that I like to do? What is it that I like people to recognize me for? And those are the things that have allowed me to get my name out there, for people to begin to notice this is the work that I do and the types of things that I create. It's pretty funny how sometimes I've been able to share some pieces to people that I know in my circle and have said, I know that's your work. Without me telling them it's mine, they can see because of various things. They can say of the style, they can see the colors, they can see the texture, they can see the line. So these are all the things that have allowed me to have an identity and people recognize that this is my voice as an artist. So really a body of work is your voice as a person, as an artist. What is it that you want people to know about you? And I highly recommend continuing to explore this question. I don't think this question has ever left me. I've always have had it in the back of my mind asking me, who are you as an artist? What kind of things do you want people to do, to know about you, or to hire you, or to commission you? What are the potential clients that you want people to have, or you want to have as well? Let's start with how to develop a body of work as a beginner artist. So it's okay if you have no experience as an artist creating things for you right now. You may be exploring, you may be thinking about what is it that you like. And I think that's the biggest thing that has worked for me when developing a body of work. When I was starting out, I really was not interested as much in developing my own style or voice. I was really more interested in gathering the technical skills and abilities to do a piece that I didn't know how to do before. So I started doing acrylics. In my very first few years as an artist, we're copying other people's work, building on their work, and it wasn't until I was about mid-20s, early 20s that I decided to stop doing that, and that I was really ready to open up my wings and began to add a voice or a perspective that was mine, but still was building up on the things that had happened in the past. Learning about watercolors, acrylics, that kind of information allowed me to move forward without really repeating the same patterns, which were creating things that essentially other people had created. So I wanted to make paintings that had topics that I was interested in. And I started with a lot of topics. A lot of topics included still life, included people, included portraits, and landscape. And I really enjoyed them. I really did. I really looked into making them possible, and it was fun. They were fun. And I enjoyed the beauty about stopping and learning more about what I was looking at and also what I wanted to show. And my biggest tip for you as a beginner artist is to start defining an artistic theme, which would be point number 3. Think about the kind of work that you're doing already, and are you copying other people's work? And by copying other people's work, I'm not saying that you are saying that their work is your work or your work is their work or vice versa. I'm saying that maybe you're using it to learn. I'm not going to go into the ethical parts of copying and learning about having that art skill. I was mostly interested in gathering experience and exploring things. People and artists have done it for years, probably centuries, by doing copies from other artists. So think about, if that is you, are you ready to create something that goes beyond what you normally like? I used to, when I was a child, used to do fan art. And I think the fan art was something that allowed me to continue to practice and still show how much I liked what I was painting and looking at then. But then, whenever you're ready, are you looking to continuing to grow on those skills? Because what I found out is that it wasn't enough for me to just amass those skills, but really, how do I use those skills to make something of my own? How do I make those skills that will allow me to create something that I enjoy doing, and something that people will notice that it's mine and not someone else's? I think that's the biggest thing. And what has helped me is defining themes. You've heard in previous explanations and videos that I love to talk about stories, specifically people of Spanish speaking communities, people from Latin America living in the United States, in the South, particularly in North Carolina. And I've really loved how in the last 4 or 5 years, we're in 2024, there is a large amount of focus talking about who are we as communities growing up in the United States and in the 21st century. And it's a pivotal moment. I think that more of us are interested in representation and growing people's ability to tell our own stories. And I think that's something that I have been able to contribute to in my particular community through several projects, along other artists in my community as well. So I haven't been by myself. So I tell you all this information to start identifying the themes or the topics or the ideas that you like to explore. What is it that sticks out to you? What is it that you want to show the world? What is it that you have seen over and over that you want people to know that what is happening? Again, as a socially engaged artist, I like to talk about social justice. And I really like to talk about uplifting and centering people of color, Hispanic, Latinx voices in the South, in North Carolina, and over the years, people have identified with that kind of work and have reached out to me to say, Antonio, we'd love to do work. I would like for you to do work for us. So they have hired me and commissioned me to do some of that work. So start thinking about themes and topics that you'd like to learn more about and explore. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to be interested in the same topics that I'm sharing. I'm sharing them so that you can have an example of the things that can possibly help define you or your work further. There is no right or wrong answer. There is no wrong answer. I think that as an artist myself that likes to explore various styles and topics and things, and I like to be fluid in terms of what I like to share and do, I've always liked that flexibility and ability to mold my perspective and my view throughout my life as I grow older, as I learn more things, as I meet more people, as I have more experiences. Go out there, do things that you enjoy doing, and you're going to be okay. You're going to be amazing. You're going to do it so well. That would be point number 3, define artistic themes. Number 4 brings to consistency in style and medium. To develop a style, I think it can be a complex question. How do you develop a style as an artist? But I think that question can be a double-edged sword. It can hinder, but also it can help. One of the biggest things that I've learned as an artist over the years, and if I could look or tell myself this when I was starting out, don't be afraid to explore and be okay with being ambiguous. Be okay with not knowing. One of the biggest questions that I had as an artist was, how do I develop a style? How do I develop a voice? And I wasn't really thinking a lot then. I didn't have as much information as I do now. But the things that I found out about style and voice and perspective is that it takes time for these to develop. I was trying to rush and I'm not getting a style yet. I'm not getting a voice that I particularly like right now. I have so many iterations and repetitions of things, and I don't even know who I am as an artist. But that's okay. In the beginning, I was doing sketching, I was doing paintings of landscape, and I was doing paintings of people, and I was doing photography. I was even playing the guitar. So I was all over the place, but that was really as an exploratory phase in my upbringing and development as an artist. So I would say not to get stuck in the question of how do I develop a style. I think that is a beautiful opportunity for you to explore, to mess up, to make mistakes, to find the things that you enjoy doing. For example, up until 2024, I'm still exploring other art mediums to keep my perspectives fresh and my perspectives updated. I recently enrolled in a class on lino cut painting, where you carve a design on a lino cut or a surface, and you print it, and it's a beautiful way of having another visual representation of the things that you like to do or I like to do. I enjoy doing these things. One, to explore, to find new information. I'm just curious. I've always been interested in learning more about who I am as an artist, and I think that curiosity has allowed me to create this kind of information. So don't get stuck. I will say that the style that I have right now didn't arrive in 2-3 years. It took time. For some of us, it may take 5-10 years. For some of you, it may be 2-3 years if you do something consistently. So I think that the key to finding a style or a theme or a medium is really, what is it that you like the most? And it doesn't have to be complicated. I think that people sometimes say, okay, I need to really find my style or my voice. You don't have to keep thinking, okay, how do I find the style? Maybe the style is already there. So don't make it complicated, make it easy, make it as simple as you can. What are the kinds of colors that you like? Are there 2 or 3 colors that you constantly go back to? For me, oranges, yellows, purples, and blues. So what are the colors that people identify you with? And also study the elements of art. Study all the things that art tells us about. Learn about the tools that we have at our disposal. Look at texture. Look at line. What is it that you enjoy doing? Remember when I was saying, instead of copying other people's work, what you can do is gather a collection of things that you've seen, that you have enjoyed, and maybe put them in a place that you can reference them later. And when it's time for you to create a new piece, maybe you can look at what you enjoyed from each of those pieces and create something new that was informed from what you chose before. So that's what I do. My phone has a bunch of screenshots. When I'm browsing and scrolling through social media, I find a lot of things that I enjoy. I may see different poses or people who are looking at things that I have enjoyed. Maybe identity paintings, maybe paintings that go back to a time that I really enjoy. Things like that. So just pay attention to the things that you are enjoying and the style will develop. So my biggest thing is make it simple. Don't make it complicated. Make it accessible to you. You don't have to make it hard. Think about the themes. What are the themes that you enjoy? What are the things that you enjoy the most? What is the style that other people have shown you? Is it darker? Is it a particular reference or a particular culture that you'd like to highlight? For me, I started doing a lot of general art around portraits and Latinidad and Mexican pride and being bicultural, bilingual in the South. And I wanted to uplift that story and really help me understand my place as an artist, as a person who can contribute to society and so many more other things that I can talk about. As an artist, we have so much potential. We have so much abilities to move forward and do so many amazing things. So don't be afraid to develop your style and also your medium. I started with acrylics. You can also focus on one or focus on many as much as you like. The thing about art, y'all, is that it's no right or wrong answer. Do as you please. I think that people that have spoken to me have had this thought at the back of their mind telling them of what's right or what is wrong. And that's something that can hold us back. Going back to imposter syndrome and mindset and thinking about people who have influenced the way we think or experiences that have influenced how we think can be harmful. Just create. Create. Don't be afraid of wasting paper. Get yourself a notebook. Get yourself a sketchbook. Start drawing. One of the reasons that I was always so not interested in creating something a lot all the time is that I didn't know or didn't really take the time to think and reflect that there's so much paper, so many sketchbooks that I've had and collected over the years that I will just gather a piece of paper and I will paint over it, draw on it, and not be afraid of wasting it. Think about what is it that is holding you back. What is it that is creating things that are not helping you? What are the themes? What are the topics? What is the style or the ideas that you want people to know? This is what you want to do. We talked a lot about so many things in this video. My biggest thing would be talk about what's holding you back and also identifying style. The last point is to seek feedback. I think that the biggest thing for me has helped me to find other artists who are creating and who have so much more experience than I have. These artists have been open and have been inviting to me and allow me to express and be in a space where I can share my ideas and them giving me advice and things that have helped me improve as a professional. So if you have the opportunity to find other people who may be doing this kind of work, reach out to them. I think that it's important for people to know that we are here and that we are artists and we are amazing. Seek feedback. Super important. The next video, which I would love for you all to watch, is how do you document your work? So let's say in this video, you're beginning to define your style and creating a body of work. In the next video, we're going to talk about documenting your work, which means how do I take pictures of it? How do I create a portfolio? How do I create something that will allow us to move and show galleries the things that we are able to create? So stay tuned for that. And also, I would love for you all again to Continue to follow on social media. I will put the social media information and the accounts in the description so you all can keep up with the things that I'm doing. I have a lot of projects going on right now, and I'm super excited to show you as well. Again, develop your body of work is a lot of amazing trial and error. You'll make mistakes. Some other times you will be successful. Some other times stuff will flop. Sometimes things will do well. But that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of what we are doing. Thank you so much for watching. I would love for you all to let me know what your thoughts are on this video. Let me know down in the comments below if there is something that you struggled with when you are developing your body of work. What is it that you'd like to learn more about? Is it still mindset? Is it style? Is it how do you find a topic? That kind of thing. Let me know. And also, I do want to share again that this video is supported by me. I am sponsoring this video. I have an ebook available online at antoniolanisart.com/store where I am creating an ebook that summarizes and synthesizes this series into a checklist that can allow you to improve your chances of exhibiting. Even if you're already exhibiting, or maybe someone who hasn't had the opportunity to exhibit in the past, and it would be amazing for anyone to have this, anyone who's starting out. So again, thank you so much for watching today. I'll see you in the next time.